Hello.
You notice I'm not saying anything this time.
Yeah.
You're in full control.
Yeah, no. Let's not go down there again.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hello to you too.
How are you doing today?
Quite good. Quite good. Finally, another recording day. Was waiting for this.
Yeah, house was busy. Guests were here. Occupying my recording room.
Well, occupying houses, that's something we know in Berlin, yeah? But no, I wasn't visiting. I didn't want to imply that.
Also, if you would have visited, we could have just recorded here.
Right, like we did when you were here. Yeah. Honestly, I think next time I should convert one of my rooms into a recording studio. That would be so much better.
It's not like you don't have enough spare rooms.
Actually, I don't. So maybe I should build a recording studio in the garden shed or something.
Basement.
Well, yeah, sure.
Let's just let that slide.
Okay.
We wanted to do a mail call again.
Right.
With the only person that usually gets stuff. But exactly. It's also the disadvantage of this is the only person who usually gets stuff is also the person who usually doesn't get stuff because stuff is delayed. So in this case, the last mail call was actually a special one because you actually received stuff. This time, we are back to normal. You were supposed to receive stuff and you didn't.
True for the most part. I received one thing of all the things that were planned. I mean, we had it in our docket, like epic mail call, all these things. And I mean, we both, what were we thinking putting that on the docket?
Yeah.
Like we both should have known better that I wouldn't receive anything in the end. Except the one thing, those were the trash yocks from my keyboard. .eu, which I'm planning to use as a substitute for the Risa Greetech housings I currently have in my TXCP. I'm gonna have to desolder that big bastard and switch out all the switches, take out all the switches and take them apart and use the stems, Halo Clear stems that are in those for the trash yocks to make trash pandas. And then I'm probably going to put linear switches in the TXCP. That's going to be a whole lot of work. But that's the only thing I received of the things I planned to receive. So
you still have Halos?
I have the Halo Clear stems.
Oh, you still have stems, okay.
Well, I don't have the stems. I have to take apart the switches I built with them, which are the TXCP.
Yeah, but the switches have stems inside.
Right, Halo Clear stems. Yeah. So, and I got the housings are desoldered from a Razer Black Widow 2016 when they used the Greetech manufactured switches, and those were a substitute for like the Panda housing that weren't available at that point when I built this. And they are okay, but I think the newer Yock housings / Panda housings are better overall. And I think I have to redo some of the switches anyways, because I don't know, like probably some problems with the leaves or something, but some switches are just not that good. So, but I'm gonna linearize it anyways and put these switches in another board. But yeah, so that's all I got. That's the mail call, and we'll never put a mail call on the docket again. Only if I really have it in front of me. If I can say, yes, I have actually received and in my hands following things, then we can do a mail call. But until then, no more mail calls on the docket.
I actually, from what I saw, the picture you sent me of the trash pandas, really like the color. I would love to have them, but it makes no sense for me because the only Halo stems I have are in OG Panda housings. And it's probably not worth to throw them away just to have gray switch housings, which as we discussed in the last episode, you can see as soon as you have caps on. So
yes. It's just like I also have already built red pandas, so red Yorks, with the Halo salmon stems, I think it's called, or like the other ones.
Halo clear and Halo.
Yeah, the color is salmon. So not from what the Halo switch is, but the color of the stems is salmon. So that's funky looking. But the clear black combination, because they are called, or I think they're called York Trash, but they're supposed to be black, but they're more like a grayish color. The stem is black, and you can clearly see the contrast. But it's a really nice color, and it will fit like black and gray boards pretty well.
Yeah.
Either way.
So before we get messages, it's Halo True.
Halo True. Thank you.
But yeah, the black of the gray of the Switch looks like EBBT, black EBBT gray. It's about the same color.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's really nice. But yeah, hopefully we'll have the rest of the stuff that was supposed to go into the main call this time for the next episode. Hopefully. But again, we came to the realization it's me we're talking about, so let's not get our hopes up for that. Exactly. But anyways, mail call wasn't supposed to be the main topic of this week's episode. Anyways, so let's just get to the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. Thing that you showed me actually, and because I completely missed it. Apparently not on Reddit as much as I should. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be on Reddit as much. But as you, or not at a time that I saw it, is a post on MacMarket about a giveaway. And we both thought it was interesting because somebody gave away a E6v2. And the way to get it was posting, like nominating another person that did something positive for you in the community. I thought that was such a brilliant thing in this community, which is so incredibly focused on drama.
Yeah,
and not on positive things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the point why we wanted to highlight it. The positivity, because if you're in the community long enough, you kind of get the feeling that it's more about the drama than anything else. I mean, a lot of online communities feel like that, probably.
Yeah.
These days.
You could say probably all online communities are about drama.
Yeah. And if you look at other things in life, like the news, then you kind of get where this comes from. I mean, it's always the drama that attracts attention, and people want to participate in that. So it's always nice to have a counterbalance to that. And we thought this giveaway was a really nice highlight of that. I mean, the E6v2 is a pretty high-end board and not a cheap thing. So giving something like that away is already a very generous act. And the way they choose to do that by getting people to comment about positivity in the hobby. Okay, there I go. About positivity in the Hobbit, there's not much positivity. Let's be honest. At least in the movie books, but the movies were. But we're not a movie podcast, so back to that topic. Exactly, positivity in the hobby, and we both think it's really nice. It's awesome, and we should have more of this. We should have more people talking about positivity and positive things happening in the community instead of just like reporting about drama.
Yeah.
And that's also a bit of our what you call it in the modern startup world, core values.
Yeah. I really hate talking about drama, fueling it, giving it any attention. I think maybe even more so than you. I'm definitely very strongly against firing up drama podcast. So this is the opposite, and I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I like to discuss topics, and obviously sometimes you'll have topics that are very hot or debated, which could classify as drama. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, it's true that we both agree that it's not in our that the community already has enough ways to address something like that, and it's better to present something of a counterpoint to that. So we're trying our best, or we will try our best, to stay on the positive side of things and not concentrate on the negative side of things, and as much as we can, basically. Obviously, if there's a topic we think is important to discuss, like we did in the last episodes about the handling of group buys and stuff like that, where there's always different viewpoints, we'll bring that up for sure. But we'll not just take up a topic just because it's like juicy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like avoiding drama doesn't mean we don't talk about things that should be talked about, especially if you can bring reason to it in any way, I think. But we don't just want to jump on any bandwagon on hating on something. Exactly,
yeah. And in that direction, we thought it would be a nice idea to give out a call to you, to the listeners, to send in your examples of positivity in the hobby. So, oh man, this is gonna stuck. Exactly, examples of positivity, like when people who helped you out, who maybe sent you free stuff because they thought you had a problem, or that just helped you out, or that fixed something for you, and I mean there are so many examples how there are positive things in the community. And if you have an example, like if you have something that happened to you, or something maybe you did, and we would like to hear about that, so send us your examples of positivity in the community, either in our Discord or our email, and we'll try to feature one of these examples every episode whenever we can, if whenever there is something we can pick up, and try to spread this positivity around, so then people realize there's more to this community and this hobby than just drama.
Yeah, exactly. That's something both emphasize. And I can't wait for stuff to be mentioned to us.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. So
give us positive experiences. We will shout them out. We will talk about them if they are interesting or incredible.
Exactly.
Yeah. And talking about positive things, I think the other thing that we wanted to talk about is international kids. Who would have known? Our name maybe gave it away. But
this was coming, yeah.
Yeah, we saw that coming. But in the wake of all these discussions, like it's constant. It's, for me personally, it's so annoying. Even though I use ISOD, like the senseless discussion under every SC about Nordic kids or international kids. It's so draining because it's always the same arguments on both sides and just goes nowhere every single time.
Or just basic ISO support.
Yeah. But even like, I can't stand the discussion even anymore. It's like you read an IC, it's like, yeah, it's the same person saying the same thing to the same person who answers the same thing in everything. What's the point? Like, everybody
it's
said,
like chatbots.
Yeah, it's like two chatbots talking to each other. But we took a look, or actually you took a look. I have to give credit where credit is due. You took a look into currently running group buys, currently running ICs, and a few honorable mentions of previous stuff that was very recent, of key sets that have either Nordic or international kits or ISO UK support or other things that are in this vein.
Yes, exactly.
Because there are a lot of them actually.
Yeah. I was surprised when I started making the list that I kept finding entries for it. I was expecting to have like, I don't know, 4 in the end, because I had some in mind, obviously, which I knew about. But then I just started looking through the IC and group buy parts of Keycap. And I just looked mainly there because it's still the main point where these ICs and group buys are released. So I think it's if it isn't there, it's probably hard to find anywhere else anyways. So and then I also checked some other stuff where I knew that that kits were available previously. And I was in the end astonished how much ICs and group buys are currently on the docket for some kind of ISO support, or even a bigger language specific ISO support. And also what was a bit surprising was the amount of GMK specific group buys or ICs that have this kind of support.
Yeah.
Because it's not as uncommon to find the Nordic UK or international kits, add-on kits on different on other profiles or other manufacturers like EBPT or the MT3 profile, the CAT profile, because those are mostly die sub, and GMK is double shot. So for those of you who don't know the difference, double shot means that you actually have 2 stages of plastic injection. So the cap itself and the glyph are 2 different plastics injected into the mold. And on the other side, you have the die sub, is where you have a base cap that is blank, and then the glyph or whatever's on the cap is put on it through a process called dye sublimation, which is a bit like printing, but it goes deeper than just the top layer, so it's more resistant to rubbing off or anything. So it's dye sub holds up to usage. But making these molds for double shot is an expensive process, and so with dye sub it's much easier to have very complicated kits or prints designed, because it's just way cheaper and easier to do it.
Yeah,
than for double shot.
So for each double shot that needs a new legend that was never used, you have to create a mold, whereas for each die sub key cap that was never printed, you just print it. Like,
yeah,
the additional cost of making a new legend is very small on die subs, and quite noticeable with double shots.
And adding to that, I mean, GMK has already most of the molds for language support, like Nordic kits or international kits. But GMK also has a high MOQ, so minimum order quantity, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The German in you.
Slide back into German. Yeah. The Germinator. Minimum order quantity. That means that you have to buy at least, I think 150 or... No, what's for add-on kits? I think it's 100 minimum order.
I actually don't know.
I
just know for colors.
It was around for, I think, most on Massdrop, for instance, a long time, where the minimum order quantity for an international kit or a Nordic kit was 100. And that got down to 50, but the price increased. So there, I don't know if it's a special negotiation that Drop had with GMK, or if, I don't know. But it's like you need a lot of kits. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. And with the other manufacturers or profiles, you often have way less minimum order quantity. Like, I don't know, 25 or something like that. And that target is way much easier hit than 50 or 100 for the specialty kits. And it also helps that often enough these kits are cheaper than GMK, because often DiceHub is cheaper than the double shot process. So it's easier for more people to buy it and easier to hit the even lower MOQ. So that's why you often have these kind of group buys that are not GMK, that have the ISO or the international kit, Nordic UK, whatever, language support kits way more often than GMK group buys. That a bit as a background, why we were surprised even about the amount we found. Well, I think we can just we probably don't have time to go into detail on everything we have. We'll try. We'll have the links and descriptions all in the show notes, and we'll have to. We'll try to have a page up with an overview about what we found. Mm-hmm. But maybe we can pick out some of the interesting things. So one of the big, I'd say, group buys that is currently running with an international kit support is the MT3 Serica drop on Drop, which previously Massdrop. That made it easier, Massdrop and Drop, but now it's just Drop. It's the group buy for the known Serica colorway that was already made in GMK, but this time in MT3. And because it's there's not a GMK profile, you have a lot of kits, and one of those is international kit, and there's also a separate UK ISO kit.
Yeah.
So people who just need UK ISO can get the smaller, cheaper kit. People who need the larger language support can get the international kit. And here it's good to know that you don't need to get the UK ISO and the international kit. The international kit also contains like stuff like ISO enter and short left shift. So it's not just the language specific stuff, but it's also the rest of the ISO support stuff.
Yeah, they don't specify MOQs, which is strange.
Yeah,
they only say they might cancel some kits if they don't sell enough. But that said, international kit has more than double of units sold than UK ISO at the moment. So although it's twice as expensive.
Yeah, which is interesting for sure.
Yeah,
and the international kit isn't so bad actually percent wise. If I look at the base numbers for.
Yeah, it's like 10%. No?
Yeah, but I don't know. You have to probably add Latin and katakana.
Yeah, but,
it's still higher. Why would you get
katakana if you get the international kit? Because katakana is 10%.
Yeah, but I don't know. You have to probably add Latin and katakana. But it's still higher than...
international kit. maybe just for the mods. Yeah, whatever. But it's
anyways,
it's compared to like Oblivion or something. It's a way higher percentage of people who bought the international kit, which is interesting. Maybe because the price is lower.
Well, talking about that's probably it, honestly. And I think a lot of people are interested in the profile. So this is the third time I think that MT3 is running.
Yeah, and but the profile wouldn't change the percentage, would it? Except if it's more interesting for people from Europe than it's for others, which I don't think is.
True. Yeah. So price is a lot about it. Yeah. But on the other hand, I mean, we just talked about Oblivion Round 2, which was a very well received drop. That has to be said. But there, the Nordic kit made the 100 MOQ stage.
Yeah, and it was like $80 or something.
It's $85 for the 50 MOQ and $75 freedom bucks for the 100 MOQ.
Yeah, and
so it's not really cheap.
Yeah, and MT3 Seriki international kit is 30, so less than
exactly.
half.
Yeah. So
that's probably the reason.
Yeah,
because I'm adding 85 or $75 to an already pricey GMK set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was on. I think the international kit orders on or the Nordic kit orders on Oblivion were like 4% of total base kits sold. So yeah, but that's still good. I mean, it got made. So happy about that because I ordered it.
Oblivion,
and
right? Not
that was MT3 Therica. So that's the one running group buy currently. And then we have also currently running group buy, which is I think the production is already set for these. These are add-on kits, GMK add-on kits for the well-known what can you say, like basic GMK kits in the community. One is white on black. WOP is one of these kits or one of these colorways that are most people have at home, I feel like, because it fits anything. It looks good. It's one of the most classic colorways you can have.
Yeah, and Drops sold it for cheap.
Exactly, and it was available very cheap on Drop, and they keep on dropping it. I think they had a second drop on it, and now they're planning, I think, a third one or so. So every few months, and they're sold not on a group buy basis, but on an in stock basis. So they just order a certain amount from GMK, and when they arrive, they go up on the site, and you can just instantly buy it, and it ships in a few days. And they're cheap.
That's what I did.
Exactly. I bought one of the first rounds from that too.
Yeah.
But I bought it in the group buy, so it was even cheaper. But yeah. Anyways, and you can for this, and the other one was planned for minimal, which the group buy has finished for minimal, and the extras have all been sold, I think. So we'll have to see if there's another round of that. But there are Norde. I think it's even more than Norde when I look at the languages.
No, it says UK, British, Icelandic, Norwegian, Swedish, Finnish, Faroes from the Faroe Islands, Danish, German, and Portuguese.
Yeah.
So it's like random Portuguese support, but good. No, I mean good for Portuguese people.
Yeah, and it has the angry alt modifiers.
Oh yeah, it comes with alt GR.
Yeah, what I think alt graphic or something.
Yeah, graphics.
Yeah. I call it all with the angry alt because it's alt. It has that into it. And especially the white on black add-on kit is really nice, because if you get the cheap white on black kit from Drop plus this, you can get really good.
Yeah, you're like I think with import VAT, you're like 170 euros or so into it. 160,
Probably.
170 euros for a full Norde kit supported GMK set. which Oblivion ran you far over 200.
Yeah.
For the same thing.
And it's you end up with good board support, and also I think especially something like Portuguese. I don't know many GMK kits that have Portuguese support, because I don't think that's normal for Nordic kits to contain.
No, yeah.
It's in the name, Nordic and D. So that's a good possibility. The sets are still available. Both of these add-on sets are still available on my keyboard.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like it's a running group buy thing. They're gonna be produced. You're like pre-ordering them now. It's not like group buy in that sense. More like of a pre-order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about white and black, Candy Keys sells a white on black ISOD only set for 93 euros, which for Germans is amazing. It only supports very, very limited keyboard layouts, though. That's its disadvantage, but it's only 93 euros. So if you have anything that's remotely standard, like it only supports standard bottom row. But if you have something with a standard bottom row, it's a no-brainer if you want ISOD for 93 euros.
Yeah, it's definitely for Germans or for people using ISO-DE, it's one of the cheapest possibilities to get a good-looking GMK set.
It is probably the cheapest one. I could not think of a cheaper new one. Yeah.
No.
I mean, you can buy OG shots, but then you'd have very limited compatibility in another way. So
yeah.
And you have yellow keycap, likely.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that's about for the running group bar. Oh, no, okay. One more thing. And I picked one key set. It's about Pimp My Keyboard. For those of you who don't know, Pimp My Keyboard is the user-facing site from Signature Plastics, who produce a lot of the SA's profile sets, and they also have a lot of DSA sets, and they have a large range of in-stock colorways, and a lot of those support international kits or have international kits. And I picked DSA Alchemy because I really like the colorway, but I think also DSA Granite has an international kit support, and what was the other one? I forget, but you can check their site. If you're into the profile and into the DSA profile, there's also a lot of possibilities to get international kit support with the colorways they're offering. So that's another in-stock variant.
Yeah, it does only have the downside that shipping is a bit pricey as far as I know.
That's true.
To Europe.
Yeah, that's for Europeans, it can be a bit pricey. So you have to keep that in mind. But the option is there if you like the profile and the colorways. Well, it's in the hobby itself is not that cheap most of the time. So if you want it, there's the option. And that's, I think, for the running group.
Well, I mean, technically, there is GMK Merlin. That is
a
running group
that has started.
That has UK ISO support in the base kit.
Yeah.
But you can also, as far as we figured out, only buy it from Kono.store.
No. I think with the start of the with the start of the group buy, which was 3 days ago on the time of recording, on the 8th, the set is also available on my keyboard EU. And it has a rather large base kit, which includes ISO UK support and numpad and layout support, but is a bit pricier than most base kits in the last time. But if you add the costs up from the kits you normally needed, it's still cheaper. I'd say. But yeah, that's the European proxy. I think for the United States, it's Kono, and I'm not sure if there's another vendor for it. But we put it on the docket mainly because...
But it has full UK ISO.
Exactly, because it has a large base kit and with included ISO UK support.
Yeah.
And there's also another run in the same, or not the same direction, but there's also GMK Froyo, which has an ISO UK add-on. So not only physical ISO support, but ISO UK add-on, which might interest some people.
Yeah, and it's on Candy Keys for Europe.
Yeah. But I think that's for the group buys and in-stock items. That's it.
Yeah. And then there are a bunch of interest checks that have support for either a dedicated ISO kit or even more. And I think the first thing that comes to mind is cat milkshake.
Yes, that's the big one.
That key set has all the support.
Does it support? And the answer is probably yes.
Yeah. So apart from having a ton of mod options and add-on options for like numpads and CP and 1800 supports and different colored mod supports and dots novelties and fruit novelties and Mac support, it has an international kit that, if I check on it, also supports Portuguese. Maybe Spanish, because it has a N. Definitely German and like the Nordic languages.
Yeah. At the most, it's not a UK, but it looks like it's
the
some
C
kind
with
of Spanish.
The C with the... forgive me, but I will butcher that. The C with like the comma added on the bottom is... I know that Portuguese has this letter. Might be Spanish too, I don't know. But the N is definitely Spanish and the C is Portuguese, so... Yeah. And additionally to that, it has a UK ISO kit. And additionally to that, and that's what blows my mind completely, is the baguette kit, which is a kit to name. The name is hilarious. Which is a kit that adds support for French Azerty, which I don't think I've ever seen in a big group. I can't think of it.
DSA Royal Navy had an Azerty kit.
Yeah.
But that's the last one, and that was like, I don't know, over a year? No.
2 years ago?
2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. And that's the last kit I remember that had Azerty support.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere that they also, if there are enough voices for it, that they would also add like Belgian support to the Azerty kit, which has, again, something different from standard Azerty, apparently. Yeah. So if that is included, there's not a lot of languages that are not supported by the whole cat ecosystem.
At least in Western Europe. Well, there's not sure if it supports Italian. I don't even... ISO T, I think, is maybe. I don't even know how this looks like, but yeah.
They don't state exactly which languages are supported by the kit, except for the UK ISO kit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, if you want like to support your kits, you look at it and you know instantly if it's supported or not. I guess.
Yeah. You have to look at the page, but it's one of the most comprehensible language support in a recent group buy or RC that we have seen. And
I hope all of those make it to group buy. That would be amazing.
I think so. That at least the plan is to offer them. It's another question if they are made, because we don't know how large the MOQs for CAT is. I think the profile is manufactured by Keyrative, which is very known die-sub manufacturer.
Yeah.
They already did a lot of DSA kits. And But I don't have any ideas about their MOQs. I think, like we said in the beginning, that it's still much lower than anything from GMK. So the probability of it being produced is much higher.
Yeah.
And so I think we both are really looking forward to this in the group buy. The milkshake, the colorway itself was already run as a DSA by Creative and was very successful. I think a lot of sets have been sold, and both looking forward to it, definitely. And if you check out the linked group buy page on Geekhack, you can actually see some photos of I guess the prototype run.
Yeah, the dice up looks great, and the profile looks interesting. I mean, the way the profile looks is secondary, I think, for most people.
Yes, but...
Or for a lot, let's say a lot.
Yeah, but it's also one of the... I think there's only been one actually run group buy with cat so far, which was black on white. And from what I've heard so far, a lot of people really like the profile and the typing on it and the sound it produces. So this is the first larger group buy with more kits and more support that uses this profile, and we're both very much looking forward to it. Yes, and apart from that, we have 2 other ICs. 3 technically, if we include the honorable mention. We'll come to that in a minute. We have 2 currently running ICs for GMK kits. The first being Phosphorus. I think that's pronounced. Yeah, Phosphorus. Yeah. Which is
bright blue and dark gray.
Yeah. It's definitely nice looking colorway. More in the vein of something like, I don't know, it's Skidata, just in blue, I feel like.
Yeah, and it also comes with the Nordic kit and Angry Alt.
Exactly, an Angry Alt order. The Nordic K kit that they have on their RC page looks pretty much like the one from the Oblivion buy, I think.
Yeah, or the minimal add-on kits with... Yeah, but the minimal add-on kits have... Yeah, Oblivion. All this rambling is just to agree with you eventually.
Well, it pads out the run time, so... and they already have prices for the kits, and the Nordic UK kit is gonna run for 53 euros.
That's a pretty decent price.
That's a really good price.
Yeah, that's cheaper than the add-on kits, the white and black and minimal add-on kits.
Yeah, with less language support, obviously.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's a really good price, and I think it's my bad preparation. Here it is. The core kit is gonna run for 129 euros. So the euro prices always include tax, I think. So yeah. So combined, this is again a really good way to get a language supported GMK kit.
Yeah.
And the base kit has also good support. There is an additional numpad kit, at least the ISO support and some additional layout support is included in the base kit. So good looking, and it's confirmed, or at least the planned group buy start date is the 4th of October.
Yeah,
and then we have one last IC.
Yeah, GMK Nord. I think it's based on like a text editor color scheme.
Yes.
Yeah. So it also comes with a Nordic kit that he added after community wanted it. So guess thanks everybody for asking. If you just ask, I mean, it's better than not having it. Yeah, it seems a bit smaller than the others, but still supports German, and pretty sure it's also German and like Swedish stuff, Danish language support only, and UK.
Yeah, it's probably a Nordic UK kit, or I'm not sure. That's definitely German. It seems a bit curious because there is no UK support in the base kit. There's ISO support, but not UK. And
No, I'm pretty sure it's in a Nordic kit.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it only is 3 extra keys, isn't it?
Yeah, but...
Oh well, somebody from the UK will tell us that we're wrong.
Yeah.
Or that I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure. I forgot to compare it, but this Nordic kit doesn't have the angry alt. Just saying, that's definitely a missing thing.
But to be honest, one of my criticisms of the Chimkey Oblivion set was that the Nordic set was a bit overdone.
Yeah, but that's also because you had these different base kits with different modifiers. And then there was I think a mono add-on kit or something for the modifiers.
No, I mean, Angry Alt is for me personally, maybe people like it, I don't know. But for me personally, I always think it doesn't matter as much because...
Yeah, sure.
In the end, it's just right alt.
Yeah, I personally like my Angry Alt.
Oh yeah, I like to have it, but I mean, that was by far the most expensive Nordic kit ever. I mean, it's sold, so I guess I'm wrong. So,
or just poor, whatever.
I gladly accept it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy if it's included. It's just because we now had multiple Nordic UK kits where the Angry Alt was included. This just that it's not included sticks out a bit.
Yeah, true. I agree. Yeah. You convinced me. Angry Alt for the win.
But it's a very from the responses, going by the responses, it's a very much looked forward to colorway that's going to run, and so a high profile thing colorway, and something like that, and including a Nordic kit as an option is good, is huge, I think.
Yeah.
So very much looking forward how that is going to develop.
Yeah.
Because I think there's not a date set yet for it. I think they're still working on things. But very much looking forward to that. And already did renders for it. So there's a bit of work included. And yeah. And then we have okay. I put this on as a bit of, it's a bit of a joke compared to the other things we had. But there's an IC for GMK Sparta, which doesn't have a Nordic kit support, but since the name implies it's about Sparta, it has add-on kits that support the Greek alphabet, like Greek glyphs. So there's a mixed one and a mono version. So technically it has Greek support. But yeah, I just wanted to include it as a bit of an offset to all the other sets we had already included here. But
okay, so because I'm lazy, I will ask some listener to send me either on our Discord or as a PM. Is Old Greek different than Modern Greek in terms of the alphabet? Because if it is, the Sparta set should be Old Greek, technically.
Oh, that's true.
But I don't know if they still have the same alphabet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it's funny that they have a Greek alpha set.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
It's a nice pace of change to the usual Japanese or Korean sub legends.
Yeah, or Russian.
Yeah.
Maybe Greek will be the new hype, and every set comes with Greek sub legends.
Honestly, I could live with that. I like the Greek legends. So
I also like the Cyrillic Russian legends. I think that looks nice too.
Yeah.
More than Japanese.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think what it comes down in the end is ask for it. If you see an SC and you want international kit, ask for it. And then
ask nicely.
Ask nicely, please. No trench warfare in the comments. And the second thing is, and maybe even more important thing, is also buy it. Don't just want it, but also buy it.
Yeah. If you ask for a Nordic kit or Nordic UK support or like language support kits, be prepared to also back it with your wallet.
Yeah.
Because that's often enough an argument of those of people that don't want to have or don't want to support it. That's like, yeah, everybody asks for it, but nobody buys it. Which, looking at the percentages, is kind of true. So yes, language support will cost you, but
if you want it, buy it.
Exactly.
And not just fight for it, also buy it.
Right.
Because it makes no sense. Like, asking for Nordic kits when nobody buys them is pointless.
Yeah, and then people start to not do them. Because why do them if nobody buys them or not enough people buy them? So
yeah, but I mean,
support your language.
Yeah, support your local language. Also the others. But it seems like group buys have a way easier time nowadays to hit MOQs, which should hopefully also make it easier to hit international kit MOQs.
Yes. The community itself is growing, and I think we already made that point that hopefully in the future this also means that the smaller percentages are getting these smaller niches are getting large enough to support their niche in the end. So if there are not enough people in the community that buy these kits, they're actually going to happen, which is better for everyone. But there's also another news item that came out just this week.
And it also includes Nordic kits.
And that's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it is. Considering who it concerns. Exactly.
And it's about a new Keycap profile has been announced. The HSA or half SA profile, because that's just what it is. It's in the name.
I mean, it technically is half SA because it's lower profile SA, but also that name is more than questionable in my opinion. Half SA is like, really? Yeah, that's the name you're going with?
It's not very creative, I'll admit, but it's in a way it speaks to me as a German because it's very descriptive. But yeah, and this new profile has been announced, and the manufacturer of it is JTK, which are mainly known for their Cherry, or is it Cherry profile?
Yeah.
It's not OEM, it's Cherry, right? So
it's Cherry, yeah.
Yeah, the Cherry profile sets, which are very good quality, also double shot, or they even have triple shots keycaps, and they're rather cheap compared to GMK. And but their Cherry profile caps were only available in ANSI support. There was no basic ISO support, and there was absolutely no Norda whatever support. But thanks to the feedback of from David of My Keyboard EU, he convinced JTK, because he has been working with them on it and giving feedback to them, and he has convinced them to include ISO and Norda UK molds in this profile. So they're gonna make these molds without even having a group buy run for them.
Yeah.
So
it's great
from the start. Yeah. This profile includes from the start Norda UK support, ISO Norda UK support, which is really fantastic, because now it's not a point of a group buy runner or like somebody that wants to run colorway in the profile to get the support up for it and ask them to make the molds, which is always costly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's available. So if you're running a group buy or an IC in this profile, you can include a Nordic UK kit without having to worry about if it's going to be available from the manufacturer side.
Yeah. I wish they would do that for their Cherry knockoff profile as well.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe if these kits in this profile run good enough, maybe they consider it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think it's an awesome step for the community that we get this from the start, because it will lower the entry barrier for IC or Group I runners to go the step to make this a Nord UK set for their IC, for the set. And well, we get a new keycap profile, and very much looking forward to trying it out, because I like the sculptured way of SA. It's just like normal SA caps are way too high for normal boards, in my opinion.
A lot of people don't like it for that reason.
It looks good. That's the main reason most people have SA keycaps.
Yeah.
And there are historical reasons why there are such large keycaps this height and so on. But yeah, modern boards, they don't really work that good in my opinion. So I'm looking very much forward to this.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this keycap set will look on like more keyboards than the ones they showed off in their post, which we will also link.
Yeah,
because it looks like cherry profile keycaps with SA looks. It's very weird, but also nice.
Yeah.
And they're also very shiny. So if you like shiny ABS.
It's really shiny. It's like polished almost.
Yeah.
Which SA caps are a bit known for. So I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe some meetup this year where we can try them out. Because I know David will definitely take them wherever he goes. In the meetup round this year. But yeah, so that we thought we'd bring this up because it fitted very well with the other stuff we were talking about, and we're very happy to look, or we were looking very much forward to this and the first ICs or group Is in this profile.
Yeah,
with Nord UK support.
Yeah, I think what you can take away from all of this is, it seems like ISO is not, I wouldn't say it's on the rise, but it seems like people realize that it's a bit easier nowadays to get through MOQ and are more likely to offer it. At least I have the feeling that this is what's happening at the moment.
Yeah.
Because there used to be like a dry spell, if you want to call it that way, like a year ago, where there was basically almost no set. Like only the biggest sets on Massdrop had ISO or Nord support. And
often enough, those didn't really make MOQ, and Massdrop bought the rest of it out. And I think if they have the recaps, often enough you find a lot of Nordic kits in there when they have like their off sale of the warehouse stuff they don't want anymore.
Yeah,
it's looking better for ISO language supported group Is than maybe most people think, and that's the message we want to bring across. Like, yes, there are a lot of high profile colorways are maybe not included in year, but there's still a lot of possibilities to get language supported keycaps if you really want them, and you are kind of responsible to make this happen. So buy the knowledge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, support it with your wallet if you can. So I think that's it for this week.
Don't forget to send us the positive stories that we asked.
Exactly. Looking very much forward to that. And talk to you next time.
See you.
Bye.